Coming off the fall, the winter usually is a big season for game releases thanks to the games from the fall being delayed into the winter, and that's the case once again in 2017. So in this video, we'll be counting down the top 10 games coming in winter 2017. Let's get right into this. Number 10, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ubisoft has been releasing several innovative games recently, The Division, Steep, and now we have another in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, an open-world cooperative third-person shooter. You can play Wildlands solo, but then you'll be accompanied by 3 AI players, so it's definitely ideal to play with a few friends. Considering how The Division turned out, it's wise to be skeptical about Wildlands, but we hope for the best when it releases on March 7th on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Drone carried by each ghost. Essential for scouting and strategizing, these let us fly freely through our surroundings, spotting and tagging cartel goons, and getting a feel for their hideouts. While small and difficult for cartel soldiers to spot, the drones aren't invisible, and getting too close carried the risk of alerting the camp and giving our target a chance to escape. The Bolivia of Ghost Recon Wildlands is not a heavily militarized country, and civilians are everywhere. The cartel thugs love to mix in with the local population, which introduces an element of uncertainty into nearly every firefight. The ghosts are in Bolivia to liberate civilians, so we had to be sure of our targets before pulling the trigger. That said, we did accidentally kill one chicken that was standing behind the guy we sniped. Vehicles.
Number 9, Yakuza 0. Yakuza has been a very inconsistent franchise in the States. We've seen a few games and they're usually reviewed pretty well, however we don't see them often enough. Sega is trying to change that and bring more games over to the States, and that's continuing with Yakuza 0, which is a prequel to the series. Bear in mind that this is a game that was released on both the PS3 and the PS4 in Japan, so don't expect anything technically amazing, but do expect a solid open world adventure game. It releases on PS4 on January 24th. Number 8, For Honor. We talked about innovative Ubisoft games earlier with Ghost Recon Wildlands, well here's another with For Honor, a hack-and-slash game with a focus on multiplayer featuring medieval knights, samurais, and Vikings. You play among different factions, and within those factions there are 4 classes. There's a variety of different weapons, skills, and fighting styles for the player to master, and the gameplay seems to have a lot of depth. And while the game is multiplayer focused, there is also a single-player campaign that Ubisoft says will be a quality experience. For Honor releases on February 14th on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Still, they fight for what is right. Driven by duty, devoted to their people. Who does not lead the charge is no leader at all. They are called warlords, a name that has earned another ancient tradition. To become a warlord means service to all who need it for life.
Number 7, Halo Wars 2. Halo Wars was one of the better games on the Xbox 360, surprisingly so. Few thought that an RTS could really transition over to the console controls, but Halo Wars was a very accessible strategy game, and it still offered enough depth for seasoned fans of the genre. The game is set 28 years after the events of the first Halo Wars and shortly after Halo 5. With the help of Creative Assembly, expect this to turn out pretty well. It releases on Windows 10 and Xbox One on February 21st.
RTS players are the guys who don't just do something, they think about why they're doing something. When you watch an intense chess match and you're seeing a battle of the minds, a battle...
They think they've got you, they've got their units coming in, and then you just drop death out of the sky.
Do you build for long-range siege? Do you go air? Do you go heavy guns?
What's my enemy doing? How am I going to counter-react to that?
Time's ticking down, the score's ticking up.
I've taken on board what you've thrown at me. Now I'm going to dismantle that.
It's a real action-focused strategy game.
We're also doubling down on the size of these environments, so I have the space to get involved in some serious combat.
If you want to practice your base strategy, you can go into domination, you can go into deathmatch. If I'm in the mood for a fast game, I can jump into strongholds. So we've got different kinds.
Number 6, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Kingdom Hearts 3 is still not here, however, Square Enix is releasing Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. What exactly is it? Well, it's a compilation including an HD remaster of Kingdom Hearts 3D, the excellent 3DS game, and it includes 2 smaller pieces of new content. First, Kingdom Hearts X back cover, a cinematic, and Kingdom Hearts .2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage, an all-new game that takes place after the events of Birth by Sleep where you play as Aqua. The latter will only be around the length of a single world, so keep that in mind. While this isn't Kingdom Hearts 3, hopefully it'll be enough to hold us over for a little bit. It releases on January 24th on the PS4.
If we are ever to strike down Xehanort, 7 sleeping keyholes must be found and unlocked.
You've been here many times, relived again and again, like deja vu.
What's written in the last page of the book is gonna happen.
We are here to make sure that light lives on.
If we don't do something, light will expire.
But Master...
Number 5, Gravity Rush 2. Gravity Rush was one of the best games released on the Vita. It was later remastered onto the PlayStation 4, and now we have Gravity Rush 2, which is being built ground up for the PS4. The gameplay in Gravity Rush 2 will be similar to the first, but expanded with added depth to allow for more options in the combat. Also, Gravity Rush 2 will feature a much bigger world, around 2.5 times the size of the first, with roughly 40 hours of content. Hopefully, with Gravity Rush 2, the series can find a footing as one of PlayStation's marquee franchises. It released on January 20th exclusively for the PS4. Number 4, Nioh. Nioh is a game that's been in development for a very long time, going back to 2004. The game went MIA for a while and was re-revealed at the Tokyo Game Show in 2015 as an action RPG set in Japan during the 1600s. You play as a samurai in what is a game that's very resemblant of Souls, at least from a gameplay perspective, with a flavor of Onimusha. Sounds very interesting on the surface, and considering that samurai games are few and far between these days, it'll be nice to see this out. Also an interesting note, Nioh is a game that'll offer the gamer several different settings to pick from, altering the frame rate, resolution, and graphical fidelity. That's something we would typically see only in PC games, but it's nice to see a developer add this into a console game. Nioh releases on February 7th exclusively on the PS4. Number 3, NieR Automata. NieR was one of the most underrated games on last generation platforms. While it wasn't perfect, the game had a great story with memorable characters and a fantastic soundtrack. Now we have NieR Automata, a follow-up that doesn't require you to play the first game, and this entry is being developed by Platinum Games, and that's great because the weakest part of the first game was the subpar gameplay, and with Platinum, expect great high-octane action combat. What will be retained, however, is the excellent music. There's already a demo for Automata out on the PlayStation Store, so check that out if you haven't. The game releases on March 7th for PS4 and PC. Number 2, Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil is back, albeit a bit different, with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. The game is set 4 years after the events of Resident Evil 6, and while connections will be made to past games, Resident Evil 7 features a brand new cast of characters. You play as Ethan, a civilian who has few combat skills and is searching for his missing wife. The game will also be fully playable with PlayStation VR, so that should add another layer to the game for those of you with VR. It releases on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on January 24th.
That gun is not going to work the way you think it will.
Oh boy! Now look what you've done, motherfucker! This isn't the end, you know?
Number 1, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is the latest game from one of Sony's top development studios in Guerrilla Games, but it's a brand new IP from them. They were most famous for Killzone, a sci-fi first-person shooter. Horizon, on the other hand, is an open-world action RPG set in a world dominated by mech-like creatures. It's a very unique premise, and technically, it's absolutely outstanding. But keep in mind that this is a game that will take advantage of the PlayStation 4 Pro, so it'll be interesting to see how this game runs on the original console. Horizon Zero Dawn is shaping up to be one of the PS4's biggest games in all of 2017. It releases on February 28th.
Gotta move. It's not gonna wait. Come on.
So that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 games coming in winter 2017. What do you think? Which winter 2017 games are you the most excited for? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.